Welcome back. Some great news here. You actually may hold the ticket to a child's wish on this bonus Wish Wednesday. Today we've got wish child Emily Gard and Billy Joe Zielinski about one transformative wish and how you may be able to help other wish kids. So to both of you, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you, Chris.
You and I were just chatting before we went on the air. You have an incredible kind of health journey and a wish. So tell us your story.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was diagnosed with Ewing sarcoma, which is a rare form of bone cancer. I was 16 years old and doing the typical 16-year-old thing, kind of, wanting to be with my friends and school and playing sports. And so I was actually exercising one morning and found a bump on the side of my ribs, and I remember going to show my parents, and they're like, "Oh, don't worry about it. You're young. I'm fine. I'm sure it's okay." And to make a long story short, we had multiple tests, visits to the physicians, and I was diagnosed with cancer. So that's kind of the last thing you want to hear when you're 16.
So you heard that C word, and then all of a sudden, were you devastated? What was the process? I mean, you look incredibly healthy right now, so I'm assuming that it's completely in remission, right?
Yep.
So talk about your reaction, and then how obviously Make A Wish came into your life and had a big impact.
I think a lot of times, you hear the word cancer, and the first thing people think of is death. And I'm living proof that that's not always the case. And I think Make A Wish plays a huge role in providing that hope and that kind of futuristic thinking, so that people have something to look forward to. I remember when they came and said, that we'd like to talk to you about Make A Wish, and it was like, but that's for somebody that's really sick or that's going to die. And I think that's something that we learned a lot about Make A Wish, and that's not always the case, that it's for somebody that has a life-threatening illness.
That's a very great point. First off, though, can we talk about, is this your prom that's coming up here, or what's this picture that we had? What's going on here?
This was right before I actually got my final diagnosis, and
you're kidding?
Yeah, it was taken like a couple days before. Yep, and I had gone to prom, and I had been in the hospital a few days before to get a biopsy, and so that was. Yeah, I remember my parents watching prom, and I remember they later told me that we thought it'd be the last time we watched you through Grand March. So, but it wasn't.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
So go back to the piece about Make A Wish, where I think a lot of people think it's got to be sort of a, not just life-threatening, but that actually ends up where that person, becomes deceased, and clearly that hasn't been your story. So expand on that, because I think many people have a misconception about that.
Yeah, I think a lot of times, we think that somebody else might deserve that wish more than I do, or somebody else is sicker than I am, and really Make A Wish is meant for somebody with a life-threatening illness, and we don't always think that we deserve that, but that's a huge misconception, and I think that we're here to kind of talk a little bit more about that.
So I was just told this. So is this your wish? What was your wish?
So my wish was to go to Hawaii. So my brother and sister and my mom and dad, we all went to Hawaii, and we went parasailing. That's my brother, yep.
Where'd you go? Did you go to Honolulu?
Honolulu. We went to a couple different islands, yeah.
Nice.
Yep. This is a postcard that we sent back to Make A Wish as a huge, thank you isn't even the word, but as a little token of here we are enjoying our wish. That was swimming with the dolphins. That was one of my top picks. Was swimming with the dolphins. And then we also got to go to a luau, which was an amazing experience.
So talk about that, the impact that had on you, knowing what you were diagnosed with, and how that changed you, if it did, or what happened to the transformation of that trip.
I think really a couple things. One, it gives you hope. It gives you something to look forward to when you're so ill and kind of going moment by moment. It really gives you that okay, I can do this. There's something awesome at the end here. I think another thing that might even be more impactful is the impact it has on your family. My brother and sister were amazing. My parents were outstanding. And it gave my siblings something to feel like they had control over and got to look forward to.
Yeah, I think when you're going through that, obviously the siblings sometimes are, second fiddle, and here's this great family experience, and you get to just put smiles on your faces and be with dolphins and all that kind of stuff. So what a great story. Now you're a mama of what?
Yep, 5 kids.
5?
Yep.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, they're all miracles.
That's great. So also we want to remind people that they can donate their miles to make an impact, so whole families can go to Hawaii.
Absolutely. So tomorrow's the big day. We have our miles drive here And we couldn't do that without the generosity of Valley News Live and the 5-star call center. So please call 800-362-9474 to donate your miles from United or Delta. 1,000 minimum miles, but again, we can combine them together to make tickets for kids like Emily.
Nice, and it's super simple. You can go to the website as well and
Yeah.
just transfer them over. And
Yep, northdakota.wish.org, ways to help. It's super easy. All you have to know is your miles number, a little information about yourself, and it takes less than 5 minutes.
great stuff. Thanks for being here and sharing.
Thanks
your
for
story.
having us.
That's awesome. Thank you too, Billy Joe. It's always good to see you. All right, stick around. I got much more coming up right after this.